Hey guys, how the hell are you? Let's do an all-new unbiased gear review today on this, the Mayones Duvell Elite. So the specs on the instrument are as follows. We have a mahogany body with an Poplar top, a beautiful 5-piece Wenge and Purpleheart neck with an ebony fingerboard and 24 Ferd Wagner stainless steel frets. We have Hipshot locking tuners, a Hipshot fixed bridge, Seymour Duncan, Sentient and Nazgul humbucking pickups, as well as a 3-way blade switch and a master volume with a push-pull coil split. Okay, so first let me give a shout out to my new friend Scott for hooking me up with this instrument and giving me the opportunity to review it on this channel. Thank you so much, bro. Mayones is a brand that kind of holds a place in my heart ever since I played my very first one at NAMM 2014 and was just in awe of the craftsmanship, the tone, everything about that guitar was just fucking perfect. And as a result, that first instrument that I picked up from them has kind of been the standard by which a lot of other instruments are measured up to. This guitar is no exception in terms of this company's pursuit of instrument building perfection. Everything on this, like, I can't find a flaw. I've looked all over this thing. I just can't fucking find one. You take a look at the pickup routings, the routing of the switch, you take a look at the routing for the cavities, the neck bolts, the string ferrules, everything on here is just crisp. There's no like burring of the edges or anything like that. It's just like straight and clean and crisp as can be. You take a look at this neck pocket. First of all, very, very secure in there with 6 recessed neck bolts. But there is no gap whatsoever to speak of between the neck and the body. It is in there nice and snug, giving a lot of contact for extra sustain. You take a look at the fretwork. This fret edges are fantastic. They're not like super ball end, but it's a nice rolled over fretboard edge. The fret edges themselves are nice and rounded off so that they're just as comfortable as all get out. Up and down the fretboard, it is perfectly level. I've gone up and down this thing desperately looking for any sort of buzzing whatsoever, and there is none. Perfectly flat across the entire fretboard. The nut is sitting in there nice and flush with nice smoothed over corners there. There again, just to make it so that it's as comfortable as can be in your hands. The choice of components is fantastic. I love Hipshot stuff, so to see Hipshot locking tuners and the bridge on here is fantastic. It's just clean and crisp. And speaking of clean and crisp, you can even look at some of the finer details here, like this kind of natural binding that goes around where it was obviously taped off when they were applying this stain on the top. Like, there is no bleeding over. I've looked all over this thing. There is no bleed from the stain onto where the binding ought to be. Taking a look at how it looks on the headstock, it's just perfectly straight and even all along there as well. Even the stain itself is just really, really nice and eye-catching. Even though it's kind of a trans black or charcoal stain, it still kind of pops, you know? It's not something super bright and colorful. It's a little bit more understated, but at the same time with the black chrome hardware and just kind of the nice crisp features on this, this is just a really aesthetically, just really eye-pleasing instrument as well as an effortlessly playable instrument. So in terms of how this beautiful instrument sounds, I promise you it sounds every bit as awesome as how the guitar is built and how it plays. This Seymour Duncan Nazgul bridge humbucker that's in here is a rather polarizing pickup in the online guitar community because it does have some honkin' mid-range to it that is even more present thanks to the fact that this is a ridiculously high output humbucker. That being said, I kind of feel like this pickup is an awesome metal humbucker because it just tends to cut so much in the mix no matter what style you're doing. Just chunky chugs and jaunts for days. And when you kick on that coil split, that is literally the easiest way to make this thing gent. Oh, that's one thing I've always loved about this pickup. When you click on that coil split, it sounds kind of awesome. The neck pickup, the Seymour Duncan Sentient, is also one of those pickups that, you know, one would think I wouldn't really like it so much because I tend to favor stuff that is a little bit more vintage sounding. This is definitely more modern sounding. But as you can kind of hear, there is a little bit of airiness that's in there too, which creates a little bit of space when you're playing nice little melodic lead runs. Just kind of a nice sweetness to it, for lack of a better description. It tends to cut a little bit more than most neck humbuckers. To me, when I think of a neck humbucker, I think of something that's kind of a little bit more present in the lower mids, and this definitely has a little bit more high mids than I'm used to hearing. But man, it just sounds so nice. You know, the articulation that comes through on the fast picking runs. The pick attack is not like super chirpy. It's just there. It's just present. It's just cutting. And that just makes this a really, really nice sounding neck pickup to me. Also, when you click on, there again, that coil split. Tends to kind of make this thing a really nice dynamic sounding pickup too. All in all, I love how this thing sounds across the board. I think it is just made for the brutal metal stuff. So my final thoughts, Mayones has knocked it out of the park again. This is just instrument building perfection. So it's definitely one of those things where, like, you pick one of these things up and you're just in awe with how comfortable it feels. This neck is just fantastic. The finish, the profile, the fretboard edges, how it feels when you're playing it is just perfection. And then, like, to actually sit here and have this uber resonant instrument just kind of sitting up against you as you're playing your chugs, this is probably one of my favorite instruments that I've ever had on the channel, just for a complete and total package. Like, I know what these things cost brand new. To me, I would definitely pay that just to get something that is so perfect. 100%, start to finish, every single check mark has been checked. This is just a masterful fucking instrument. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. But I know what you guys are saying. But dude, what are you drinking today? I am so glad you asked. Let's go to the beer fridge. Today, from Boston, Massachusetts' own Clown Shoes, I am having Snow on the Maple Tree 2019, an imperial stout that is aged in maple bourbon barrels. If I remember correct, I want to say this is a 12.5 ABV, 11.2 alcohol by volume, so little off, teeny tiny bit off. I'm looking forward to checking out this barrel-aged stout. Pours pitch black with just an ever so slight tannish head. Ooh, some serious maple notes there in the aroma. I smell the bourbon too, but the maple is overpowering the bourbon. Oh, that's fantastic. It's ever so slightly smoky, but it's kind of a sweet smoky. You definitely taste like a maple syrupy kind of texture to it. Definitely some vanilla cream in there. Some cocoa nibs maybe. Yeah, definitely some cocoa nibs because it's pinching in the back a little bit with the alcohol bite. This is a really, really, really damn good barrel-aged stout. It's almost so creamy that it's almost like a milk stout, even though it's not. It just has that sort of sweet creaminess to it that you would typically find in a milk stout. But damn, this is very, very good. Clown Shoes, Snow on the Maple Tree 2019 vintage. Just a really, really great brew. So that's it for me. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave your comments in the comment section below, and please keep checking back. There's lots more metal guitar oriented content to come.